Nights at Freddy's is filled with many things, from its complicated lore to its terrifying ambiances, and let's not forget for the one and only Music Man! But to me, FNAF wouldn't really be what it is today without a really important part of the games, and that is its animatronics. Now, most of these animatronics are, pretty good and loved by the community, but there are a couple of these animatronics that are, pretty controversial. And now this is extremely prominent in one of the most infamously hated on animatronics, Scraptrap. Now, Scraptrap is absolutely demolished by the FNAF community, and I kinda get why. Seriously, man, you gotta stop injecting those steroids into your skull there, buddy. Also, are those bone ears? But, that's beside the point that don't get at all why people hate on this guy. I mean, I kind of like Scraptrap, to be honest, and you guys should definitely too. So I'm gonna bring us some of the reasons why you guys hate Scraptrap, and I'm gonna give you guys definite and totally not biased proof of why your claims are wrong. But let's be serious, I actually really like Scraptrap, and I think he's not the absolute worst. Quite the contrary, to be honest. But let's not waste any of your guys' time into why I love Scraptrap, and you should too. So let's just get the elephant out the room, Scraptrap's design. And I'll be honest, Afton's design is the best, especially compared to his previous version, Springtrap. But I'm gonna have to clarify that as much as it seems that Scraptrap's design is just objectively bad, it technically is still an opinion, and I hate to be that guy, but your opinion ain't always right. And I can't really fight it against an opinion that well anyways, but I'm gonna try my hardest to exclaim that his design is the actual worst. First of all, he has an alright body shape. Pretty much everything other than his head is, pretty solid, to be honest. I get the weird square bump things on his head or on his body, not head, on his body are pretty weird. But I don't think that takes away too much from how he looks anyways. Probably because there isn't that much to take away from how he looks in the first place. Although people probably ask, why he looks really different from a normal Springtrap. Which moves on to our next topic. People saying he looks, nothing like Scraptrap at all. So to talk about this, you kind of have to get into the lore of Scraptrap. Now most people, and I don't know if this is true, but most people say that after Springtrap getting burnt down in Fazbear's fights, he went to an old Fazbear's location to kind of reshape his body. Yeah, and that kind of sums it up in the first place, but Scraptrap, buddy. You're telling me that you were basically just walking around public looking for a new body, and while we were just strolling around the neighborhood, nobody even questioned why this burnt rabbit-looking thing was walking around the neighborhood. Either you were extremely sneaky, which I highly doubt, or the people in the Fazbear universe are absolute morons. Now, I see a lot of people asking, how the heck does Scraptrap even have a voice in the first place? I mean, dude got twisted from all angles and burnt to death. And to me, the answer is pretty obvious. I mean, Scott didn't even think of giving a Springtrap a voice back then. I mean, no other animatronic even had a voice, so why would he give Springtrap one? But now that almost every newer animatronic starting from Sister Location had a voice, Scott wanted to keep the voice gimmick up and give it a Scraptrap too, to keep the whole animatronics having more personality thingy. Plus, Afton's voice is pretty badass, so I'm not even complaining in the first place. I do kind of find it strange how Scraptrap just sounds like a normal British guy. I mean, they could have added some raspy filter or something to his voice. I mean, there's absolutely no way that when William Afton got Springtrap, all of his vocal cords didn't even get damaged, at all. But I guess the reason Scraptrap talks like this is because he's happy, ? Which may sound kind of ridiculous, but now that I think about it, it kind of makes sense. William Afton wasn't just a child murderer. He was a child murderer that wanted immortality. Yeah, I know, that's so much better. And finally becoming an animatronic, he reached that goal. William Afton really was crazy, to be honest, now that I think about it. Okay, now a couple of you guys might think I'm absolutely crazy for liking this. And I can kind of get why, to be honest, but I kind of want to explain why I even like Scraptrap in the first place. After FNAF 3 came out, and I know hearing my voice, you may not even think I was alive when FNAF 3 came out, but I was, surprisingly. But after FNAF 3 came out, I really started to love Springtrap. I mean, who wouldn't? And naturally, I really wanted more content of him. And I really wanted him to be like a reference or something in Sister Location, but there was literally nothing at all to do with Springtrap and Sister Location. And that made me even want to Springtrap again even more. And then in Pizzeria Sim, I finally saw him, and as much as I hated that design at the time, I couldn't completely bring myself to hate him. I mean, I had been waiting for Springtrap's return for so long now, and to hate him even after waiting for so long kind of seems like, why did you even want to see him so much in the first place? Plus, he's William Afton, and I have a giant bias towards William Afton, so yeah. And that kind of wraps it up, to be honest. I mean, if you guys still don't like Scraptrap, I kind of can't do anything about that. But anyways, I hope you guys like why I like Scraptrap, and you guys can actually get why I like Scraptrap in the first place. And I kind of hope your view on Scraptrap changed at least a little bit with this video, but I don't know. And I can get why you guys don't like Scraptrap. I mean, there's a lot of bad things with Scraptrap. First of all, his design, and then I can also kind of question why he sounds like that. And yet I still like Scraptrap. What have I done with my life? But yeah, guys, hopefully you guys like this video. Have a great rest of January. I mean, there's only 2 days left, but like, you know, just have a good time. And yeah, that's me out. Stay crunchy, guys, and as always.